What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We are back from a quick little business trip. Need to make sure that we got creator code Zedmont in all of the Supercell sources. Super clutch. Throwing that in there. We're going to jump into Warships. I'm going to give away a prize. We're going to do some operation attacks. We're going to do some missions and some trader and some imitation game and basically all of the things. But first, Diamond Boss Battle. Now this account is very naked, as you saw. No shock mines, sniper towers, cannons, boom cannons, shock launchers, prototypes, rocket launchers. Just don't have anything on the defensive side, but my goodness, do we ever have the offense. So bullet, speed serum is so clutch. It's crazy. I know remote hack was a little bit fun for a second, but let's be honest, that's not the answer. Shock bombs, I got some troop damage, finally went back and got that. I think I'm the only person this season that went through Grenadiers to get to 6 engine rooms as fast as possible, and it kind of paid off. Just went back and got that building health. That's my latest unlock, just to give myself a couple extra seconds. Troop damage was absolutely game changing for my Seekers though. No more just scratching and clawing. And then of course we also have the cryo bomb and the useless explosive drones, but there's a lot of fun bases out there, and if your base looks anything like my other base, that is this style of base that has like all of the stuff at the back, and you got rocket launchers and critter launchers and 130% building health, and these are just absolute cakewalk. These are the kind of bases that I dream of getting. It is crazy just how easy they are with Bullet and Seekers. So it's very strange how one account I'm completely crushing people using defenses, and the other account, that base is just a complete and utter joke. So we are going to hope to get one of those bases. If we get a spread out base, or even some 5 engine room bases, I'm going to struggle a little bit more, but would really like to start this thing off with a bang. And it's going to take a little while. Finding opponents towards the middle end of the season, towards the middle top of the ranks, is getting rough. This season, not a lot of fun for a lot of people. So if you're in that situation where you're just getting 0 to 1 to 2 engine rooms, it's probably too late to lean into Seekers, but if you can do it, if they're a little bit off the path, they can be a lot of fun if you have all the tools. Now, this person does have one thing that's going to slow us down. That is that sky shield. So we just need to make sure that we get Bullet in a decent spot. That is going to be very key. And how we're going to do that is we're going to try to flare him at the right time. So we're going to flare back to there. We're going to throw one of these. We're going to throw a smoke. And then as we get into about the right spot, we're going to try to throw some more smokes. Now here is the next problem. I often end up throwing the cryo bomb towards Bullet, and then very bad things happen. So Bullet is standing in the absolute perfect spot for us. He is taunting all of the things. We're gonna get another shock out, another taunt out, and now we should, in theory, have made Diamond right about now. That speed serum just absolutely nullifying everything. We can throw a cryo bomb and a smoke and a shock and some critters and a flare maybe. Just absolutely insane if you can get Bullet in the right spot. Now, I haven't been able to do that all of the time, but definitely doing it fairly consistently. So Bullet, Seekers, cryo bombs, but most importantly, that speed serum. A, for that awesome soundbite, probably the best soundbite in all of Boom Beach. If you have a better soundbite, that's going to be my contest today. The best sound in Boom Beach, and the worst sound in Boom Beach for that matter. Whether you think the worst sound is Bullet going, hey, or maybe you don't like that opening chime because it makes your significant other give you the side-eyed glare. Regardless, that is going to be the contest for today. What we're going to give away, I don't have any idea. But since we have beaten our opponent by just about a minute and moved on into Diamond, finally, a little bit late, but I'll take it. We are going to give away that t-shirt. Now, the t-shirt is one of these 6 t-shirts. I was going to say 5, caught myself just in time. Announced this in last Friday's video. I try to give away something every Friday, and there were not a heck of a lot of entries. There were only, I think, 50 entries, so if you're one of those people who lurks on YouTube, easy. Just jump on in, join the conversation, win yourself a t-shirt or something else. We'll figure out what we're going to do later on, but for right now, let's get a beautiful, beautiful drum roll. Do I actually have a drum roll? I think I do. Right about there. Badoosh, Colton 6485. The question last week is, what is your favorite threesome? And Colton was all about white milk and dark chocolate. So Colton is our winner and the backup winner. And for those of you who don't know what the heck, why I have a backup winner, it's because just in case that person doesn't show up, I want to make sure that prize goes to someone. Is Zendo3782 saying shake, frylock, and meatwad. And that, I have to admit, that took me a second, but we got there in the end. So congrats to one of you, whoever the heck's gonna jump on in and claim it. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it right now. We are gonna give away the exact same prize. Seemed fairly popular. You gotta like one of those t-shirts. For me, I like the left one. That far left with, I think it's My Army or Our Army, Clash of Clans, I do believe. I've got both those Boom Beach t-shirts, but something about the simplicity of that far left one. And I'm fairly certain that these t-shirts are also made from recycled materials and all sorts of good stuff. They'll be shipped to you. You don't have to give me your address. This is not some sort of address stealing scam like every other thing on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube these days, it seems like. And speaking of scams, I have been called by a scammer every single video of late, so if part of this is cut out, it is probably a scam call. Nonetheless, we are going to jump in, do an operation attack, so just to fully clarify, all you got to do to win is comment with your favorite and least favorite sound. That is it. That is all. Just to clarify, Boom Beach sounds ideally, but if you want to give non-Boom Beach sounds, that works as well. Quick note as well, I am not going to upgrade that taunt. That is a lot of tokens, and since they have completely and utterly nerfed the trader tickets, I am saving those in case we get more heroes. 256 for taunt just is overpriced. I think I did it on my other account, but not this one. Would love to hear your thoughts on that one as well. We are going to go full boost. We're going to be doing Forlorn Hope. We have 15 attacks for 2 bases. Now, Maze has already been touched up a lot bit. Someone ate a lot of cells on that left-hand side. Was a little bit unnerving, but that should still be no problem at all. Don't ever eat those cells. That is the worst thing you can do on an attack unless you have a very specific reason. Looks like that person maybe got some shield generator damage as well. Not quite sure what went on there. We'll check that out in a little bit. We are going to be doing Redline. Now, Redline, I like, come on, screenshot, where'd you go? I like to use that barbed wire post that showed up on some of your outposts at some point to where to place bullet. The problem with that, laser is going to shoot there, laser is going to shoot there. That is going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm still going to park there. I'm going to then shock that laser out of a little bit of fear. And then we're just going to clear all of this stuff in here. Hopefully a little bit easier than normal redline, but also a little bit harder than normal redline. Now, I've seen a lot of people use 3 smokes to get bullet to there. If you drop your smoke just below this line right about there, that line right there, you can get there in 2 smokes. Saves the smoke, keeps the delay, all sorts of good stuff. we will just... Should I bring... I'm going to bring a boat of rifles for that right-hand side, just in a tiny, tiny, tiny attempt. Which boat is that going to be? I think it's that one. Let's just double check as well that it's going to be the right boat. There's nothing worse than having your boats out of order. So that would have been... That's fine. Just means that I need to drop in this order instead of the other order. Whenever you want to change your order of how you drop your troops, just click on the troop and makes it super, super simple. You guys know all of these things. Why is the retreat not working? Why are we stuck here? That took a little bit longer than normal. Very, very strange. Okay, Operation Attack. Nope, that is Warship Attack. We're going for Operation Attack, doing all of the things. Now, we need to wait until our flare timer is at about 50%. About 50%. Anywhere in that neighborhood. What we want to do is we want to get Bullet out to exactly where we want to, and then we will use some smokes and get all of the rest of our troops out, and all will be well in the world. So Bullet's gonna walk. We're going to keep that delay. Bullet is going to stop at that post. He's going to hang out underneath the smoke if he knows what's good for him, but he didn't, which makes it extra frustrating. So we have to waste a little bit of GBE and a little bit more of your time. We also lost the delay, which is less than ideal. And now as that smoke expires, we can drop the rest of our troops, throw in that shock there, and then taunting basically all of the things. Those right-hand side riflemen are not far enough right, in my opinion, but we should still be able to get a little bit of value out of them. And more importantly, we're going to get rid of that laser that's directly in front of us. Now we need to switch our shocks to that back grappler. Otherwise, what happens is that grappler just grapples onto Bullet, and very, very, very bad things happen. We've got a tiny bit of GBE left, and my shock was almost too late, like beyond almost too late. Now, both of the lasers are locked onto Bullet. If we were to shock a laser, very, very bad things would happen. Also note that because of the fact that there are no front shield gens, this is a very, very strange red line. We are just going to start chucking out GBE to clear some mines, and then we could probably... Come on, Bombardier, get rid of those, gosh, there we go. So Bombardier still chucking, and now we need to focus on getting rid of a couple more mines. That shield gen is going to be a little bit of a problem for someone, but my assumption is this could go down in one more attack. That would be incredibly, incredibly sexy and very, very unlikely, but you could flash kill that rocket launcher and then head on back and hit the core. Will someone try that? I kind of doubt it, but worst case, the shield gen goes down, so it doesn't really, really matter. I really, really like that attack when it goes slightly better, but we got the important bits. We got rid of those front rockets. We got that side awkward laser. And I think we got maybe a shock launcher in that front neighborhood. Rifles were too far centered, should have been out wide, but using those lasers lock-ons to get a little bit of extra goodness on that front. Okay, now that the Operation Attack is done, there is a giant, amazing deal in the troops right now. 90% off Laser Rangers. And by the way, if you find yourself short for gold ever, make sure when you finish your day, you load Laser Rangers, because when that 90% off deal ends, you can then exchange your Laser Rangers for gold. All you have to do is swap them out of your boats. We are going to go all Laser Rangers with brick and battle orders and just crush some bases. Now, this is not the best troop loadout if you don't have instant training. It's not the best troop loadout at all, for that matter, but we can have a, oh gosh, the perfect base. This just lines up absolutely, absolutely perfectly, and I would love to have the tiny shock right now, but we are gonna do something like this, just dropping all of our troops, throwing all of the shocks, and then just battle orders through all of this stuff. Like, just absolutely absolutely ridiculously clearing all of these things. And again, you're probably going to lose some troops because we did not plan this. We do not have anything to clear mines, but we just cleared every single defense. I'm guessing they have left their base in Hammerman fleet mode, and as a result, we can just walk through all of this stuff, getting rid of machine guns first, because of course machine guns can absolutely wreck our laser rangers. By the way, that was 1000% not planned. I think if you go back, I had never scouted that base. You can tell if someone has scouted a base by if it shows resources when you click on it, obviously. I'll show you that right here. That was ridiculously perfect. If you click scout, then you come back, and then you go back to there, and then you click on there, and suddenly it shows resources. So I'm pretty sure it didn't show it on that last person. If it did, then my apologies, but I promise that was not designed. That was absolutely perfect, though. Now, starting to see a lot more bases with those bunkers. I don't recommend building a bunker, though. There are some weird things happening with gold. Maybe it's super simple. Maybe there's an easy answer, but right about now, I just feel like I am not getting the gold I should be, even with my bunkers empty. If you know the answer to that, please do let me know. Would love to hear what the heck you guys think is going on, because it just feels like I don't have enough time right now, and there's not enough cycles in my life to get all of the necessary answers. It just feels like bunkers are somewhat broken. Maybe not all the way broken, but just feels like I don't have enough gold for troops. Maybe that's because I'm doing things like this, dropping laser rangers and crushing bases in ridiculous fashion. One thing that I still want to try to do is smoking troops with that 3x mode. We are going to do, you know what, let's just smoke these things to the back. I have not shown the power of smoke in a while. I mean, obviously, with our good friends, Seekers, smoke is incredibly strong, but please remember, smoking your troops all the way to the back of the base is always 98.7% likely to make your attacks better. We're just going to bypass all this stuff. 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2 there, probably using way too much gunboat energy, but once we get back here, should be able to just absolutely nuke this person's base. They are a level 67 with some low-level defenses, so this is not super duper impressive or anything fun like that, but on the plus side, just showing that if you can get to the back of a base, especially when you're full boosted, it is super fun. So laser rangers, do give them a go. I would recommend putting something out front of them, maybe those 90% off rifles, maybe some mechs, maybe some scorchers. Regardless, need something to help you clear mines. Brick battle orders, probably not the right ability, but also quite fun. While we're here, Imitation Game, let's see if Imitation Game finally has a bunker or a critter launcher or anything post HQ 23. Very curious to see if there have been any changes to this. I doubt it has been done, but I'm kind of assuming we're going to start looking at getting another update in the next while. Supercell has historically long time ago used to put out an update June or July. So I would love to see something happen to Imitation Game, War Factory, Dr. T, Hammerman's Fleet. Even if Hammerman's Fleet was to just start bringing the prototype of the week, I think that would be awesome. More importantly, though, I don't do a heck of a lot of Hammerman because I find it to be somewhat boring. We are just going to keep dropping all of our GBE onto Imitation Game. I am fully out of curiosity. Have not done this in a long time. Imitation Game is a great source of intel and crystals, as you see there, especially as a mid to low level. And this part of the video is not helpful to anyone, I realize, because full boosted attacks are more of a novelty than a helpful necessity. But we are going to keep doing it nonetheless, because I am oh man, we are on a crystal streak. a fragment, a shard, and a crystal. That is great, great news. Can we get this done with just GBE? Probably, but now we need to be a little bit more smart with how we use our artillery and barrage. And the fact that we've gotten to stage 6, they got that 2019 trophy. That in itself is sort of neat. Has anyone actually checked the crab trophies on these people? Have any of you seen a legendary trophy on any of the imitation game bases? I'm very curious if these bases were set back in like 2020 and then forgotten or something. Nonetheless, we should be able... I'm just going to drop troops. We'll just drop all of our troops wide across the base, just like we're doing Redline, and then we're going to drop all of our GBE back there. I used way too many barrages, and as a result, we are going to be GBE poor, but all of our stuff should eventually get back towards that headquarters, and just like that, we've beaten stage 6. Man, I am so good at this game. It feels like that reversal video, or was it Nick at Night, that came out when like HQ 22 came out. Let's have a look at stage 7. Very, very curious. They would never get legendary crab statues with those trophies, statues. I'm getting everything mixed up. They have 2 shield generators. They have ice statues, but they do not have critter launchers. They only have headquarters level 22. Not sure if we've seen headquarters level 23. Is that a bug in imitation game? Don't know. Regardless, speaking of bugs, I do have a fully in-depth video recorded of how to make 3 shield generators on season 62. If you're looking forward to that, do let me know. It will be out after season 62 is over. Yes, that is awkward and strange, but doesn't really matter at this point. I want to show you how it was done, not how to do it in the live game. 2 very, very different things. Some of you have figured it out. A couple times I've gone in with Seekers to face off against a base, thrown a tiny shock out, thrown 2 tiny shocks out, and then realized, oh crud, they have 3 shock launchers, which has been not super duper ideal, but these things do happen. I've also crushed a lot of you that do have the 3 shock launchers. Cheater, pumpkin eater. Not a huge fan of that, but whatever it is, it's part of the game, so you can't really complain all that much. Now, I am going to show you the other side of Warships here. So we've given away a t-shirt, we've set up another giveaway, and now we're going to jump in and show you the other side of Warships. And this is the side that more of you are probably experiencing, and that is win a couple, lose a couple. I got all their engine rooms, which is great. Got all of their engine room, which is great. They got none of mine. They got none of mine. They got none of mine. Like, it's just an absolute bloodbath out there. Now, this one, we've got the machine gun. We don't have sniper towers, but we've got cannons and boom cannons and shock launchers and machine guns and critter launchers and rocket launchers and extra building health in that node. Next up is the sky shield, and that sky shield, when placed well, can do some good things. And at this point, there's a weird feeling on the defensive side. Until you have all those defensive tools, you're almost hoping that you get beat by a naked Seeker player, because it means that you can get a lot of engine rooms. And in this one is not a naked Seeker player, so I'm going to bring out the mechs and a heavy, and I'm almost tempted to bring in a Cryoneer as well. And more importantly, we need to make sure that Brick's ability is set properly. I would love it if Brick or whatever hero you have would actually show you which ability was selected. It would have saved me at least a couple wins this season. Let's go something like that. Now, if you want to be super cautious, what you do right here is you just flare that and you drop a Bombardier and you just sit here and wait. That way you're going to get a little bit extra percentage. You're going to take out a couple extra buildings. Yes, we lost a Bombardier, but we're getting all of this percentage at the shore. It is not sexy at all. The absolute defensive fizzle meta is not sexy at all. You guys all know that. But we're going to pick up a couple percentage, sure. We're going to wait for our pizza to arrive in the interim. Just so slow. This is like the tank medic from the main base, but even worse, because I don't think my opponent's going to get any engine rooms. I am basically banking on this being a 45% to 34% kind of attack, and so we're just going to stay all the way to the outside. And then you could even come in here and get rid of a couple of those cannons, which wouldn't be a bad idea, except for the fact that I flared all the way out there. And then we're going to flare all the way to the back, dropping our mechs. And we're going to let Brick get back there, slowly but surely spreading our bombardiers out a little bit, and then eventually getting some heavies, and then even slower than that, getting our good friends Cryoneers out. And the reason why you drop your Cryoneers last is because they are frickin' fast. Yes, I said frickin' on the internet. I am about to get shut down. We are going to throw a shock there because we don't really want those guys to die. And then the rest of our troops are just going to make their slow way in as Brick keeps our troops alive. And this is basically it. This is all we need to worry about, is walking our troops in, getting those critter launchers slowed the heck down, and I would typically be slightly further zoomed in, but because you guys are along for the ride, I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit further than normal just to watch our troops clear as much stuff as we possibly can, keeping an eye on all of the things out to the sides, getting that next iron will out. And I think I probably need to get that next tiny shock out as quickly as I can, or that critter launcher is going to be super annoying. Critter launchers are such a pain in the butt this season, and going from Seekers and Laser Rangers over to slow moving mechs and cryo bombs and all the rest, I don't tend to do super duper well when I make those changes, but maybe, just maybe, we can pull off some sort of a minor miracle and get an engine room. That would be super duper swell, but I really don't see it happening at this point. This person's shock launchers are deep in their base, so we can at least get a couple shots at it, and it's amazing how much damage those couple shots can do. But their rocket launchers are going to take out my troops. We are going to do a decent chunk of damage and probably win on percentages, but my goodness, is that ever boring and frustrating. What did 4 do? 4 came in and got 52%. They actually did better than we did. So congrats 4. We even went slow and boring and annoying. I am not a huge fan of that style of attack. What people are also doing, by the way, in case you don't have Seekers, they're just smoking a boat of warriors all the way to the back. I do not have smoke. I will probably be getting it at some point, but troop health and that next sky shield more important for me at the second. Also, quick note, I probably should be going and getting remote hack, because remote hack with the defensive side is super helpful. Long list of things. We have 9 days left on that season, and I don't know that 7 engine rooms or heavy choppas are in the cards for me, but you never do know. We shall have to cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm going to do one more operation attack, then we'll call it a day. We are going to attack Torrent. I like this attack. Made it a little bit more awkward with those front rocket launchers. Now, the lines on shore are very clear in this as well. I've got videos on this. I think I did it in like 2017. This line right here, throw your smoke in that corner. That will cover all of that stuff. Should be good to go. And then you just drop your 9th boat outside your smoke, or you use 2 smokes. Regardless, we are going to come back in here. We're going to have to shock towards the beach, which kind of sucks. We're going to put our troops right about here. And then we're going to flare this shield gen first. There's going to be 1 shock for these 3 back here, 1 shock for these 3, and then probably some critters about there to distract those doom cannons, and then of course that shock to that far left hand side. So we're just going to jump on in. This right hand side shield gen hit should be cake. I say should be. We don't actually, I probably will screw it up, but we'll find out. I am going to try to move my smoke slightly left of that, just in the hopes and dreams that I can get all 9 boats. Also, really, really, really hoping that rocket launcher doesn't turn. Of course, the rocket launcher turned. Same end result, though. We're going to get that smoke about there. Just slowly but surely walking all of our troops back into this neighborhood. We've got lots and lots and lots of GBE. Should be no problems. Throwing the double smoke out there nice and wide so that we can flare a little bit early. I hope dropping that button right there, and then always making sure to shock back here first, because otherwise what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up in a bad spot because those left-hand side rocket launchers have lost their delay. We're going to clear as many mines as we can here. Might as well... Did we clear all those mines? Yes, we did. We're going to drop an artillery there. Going to clear these shock mines as well. Those shock mines aren't really a factor, but doesn't hurt to clear them, because once in a while someone's flare is a little bit off kilter and then they hit the shock mines. So that is the right hand side of Torrent, with a couple little drawings. You guys have told me in the past that drawings are super helpful, so hopefully that helped you a little bit. I'll show you exactly where I was talking about as far as those rocket launchers ranges. You saw that I did move that smoke slightly out of that corner, which enabled us to get 9 boats under there instead of 8. If you put it in the proper spot, you're not going to be able to get your hero under there, and then you're not going to be able to get 9 boats. So that you'll notice that next boat is slightly left, and so as a result, you can't drop under 2 smokes on that right hand side. There are only 2 different operation landing beaches, by the way. I thought there were lots and lots. There are only 2. That was mind-blowing to me. If you need any clarification on that, do let me know. Otherwise, do make sure code ZMOD every possible Supercell source, Boom Beach, Brawl Stars, all of the rest, Squad Busters. You get the basics ideas. I'm ZMOD. Hit me up in the comments. Congrats to our winners. You could be the winner next week. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.